with Simic. It's a very good card. You can put down your 5 and 6 casting costs in there to pull up something that might be more relevant now, a removal spell or some kind of combat trick or something. I was right. It looks like Aubrey's deck is going to be a lot of red-green aggro here. So.
All right, well, we'll get the timer started and ready to go. Sora, if you could kick the timer off for us, bud, as we have the game led off with a Plains here.
Land.
Start it. There we go. All right, and the timer's underway. And second land drop there for Jonathan Dwyas, who is on the right of our screen.
And there's red-green on cue from Aubrey. Perfect mana fixing. And he says go. Turn
all three. Yep, all three colors for Mr. Dwyas with the Kingpin's Pet.
And there's the Kingpin's Pet.
Very, very powerful card for the
Very powerful card. Very good abilities. Very well costed rather, and the flavor text is even good. He's got a little bling on. Just reminds me of a Mafia guy. Thrall. He's the Mafia Thrall. Looks like a slaughter horn? Is that what that is?
Is that green or gold?
I think it's green. I think it's a 3/2 with a blood rush on it.
All right. Well, this is our first Gruul deck under the lights of the camera today. So
glaring spotlight here.
So the 3/2 for 3 mana, and as you said, blood rush for 1 green mana. Discard it. Target attacking creature gets +3/+2 until end of turn. So a good part of like a little hidden giant growth action there.
Thrall comes in for 2. Looks like Viscopia Guildmage comes down.
I'm gonna default to you pronouncing cards from now on instead of me.
Wojciech Halberdiers.
Yeah, you just
sound like I'm hammered.
Landed it.
I still don't know how to say Domri Rade correctly though. Domri Raid, Domri Rady.
I say Domri Raid.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I get it right after a couple weeks and listening to some streams where
everybody tells
they
me
have
I'm
these
wrong.
conversations.
Yeah. The professionals tell me how I'm wrong and then I fix it later. Yeah.
It's at least not as bad as Kamigawa Block was.
Oh, Kamigawa Block. You had to speak Japanese, otherwise you were just clueless. All right, so it looks like Aubrey plays the land.
He attacked for 2, so that's why we have Aubrey down to 18.
And the stream just says Domri. So Domri is correct. Domri Raid.
Yeah. Not sure if Texas is back home Googling stuff or not.
It is.
All right, so that looks like the Ivy Denizen? Ivy Lane? Ivy something Denizen?
Believe he had and I believe he had a beat from the
and
Slaughterhorn.
Gets in for 3 with the
John
Slaughterhorn.
down to 17. Yep.
So 18, 17. Aubrey looks like he's got a handful of guys. I think we're going to see dude after dude after dude. And looking at his deck list here, it looks like it's Gorklan, Rampager, Gruul Rage Beast, Domri Rade in his deck. There's a bomb for him. Homing Lightning, Massive Raid, a couple removal spells. He's also got an Arrows of Justice for removal. Skinbrand Goblin, Zertos Swine, Burst of Strength, Disciple of the Old Ways ×2, Giant Adaphage. There's his other bomb. Gyre Sage, which could be very relevant in this game if it goes along. Ivy Lane Denizen, a couple Rust Scarabs, which are just big beaters.
What was that play there? Oh, okay. So he attacked and then gave lifelink to the Kingpin's Pet. So we have -2 life for Aubrey, taking him to I believe 16, and John would go up to 19 life then.
Right. Aubrey plays land again. We'll see what comes down here. He's ramping up to that giant Adaphage. Here it comes. Start the Jaws music. It's giant Adaphage time.
So Ivy Lane Denizen, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target creature.
There's Domri.
And Domri Raid. All right, so we've got the Planeswalker in play. Comes into play with 3 loyalty counters. +1, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. -2, target creature you control fights another target creature. And -7, you get an emblem with creatures you control have double strike, trample, hexproof, and haste.
And that is bananas.
A little bit bananas here.
Looks like he chose to fight.
Yeah, got some fighting in.
Got rid of the Kingpin Pet, which is actually very good.
Denizen doing a little Good trades there as the Domri sits at 1 counter and Foundry Street Denizen hits the board for Aubrey.
You sure that's Skin Brand Goblin?
Yes, I'm sorry, you are right. That is the Skin Brand Goblin.
2-1 with Blood Rush for
1
red to
one
do
red,
2-1 also?
Little hidden shock in there.
Yeah.
Now the Vizcopa Guildmage is being outclassed on the board pretty
Only slightly.
significantly
Only
at the
slightly.
moment. Does get some work done, but John's got some work to do here, and he's going to lead off with a Night Valor.
And there's double knights. Night.
Nightly Valor there?
Knights. Knights something. Night's Watch? Night's Watch.
Night Watch, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Makes me think of Game of Thrones.
Can't come back soon enough.
Yeah. I agree. Holding my breath until March. All right. Looks like Aubrey pulled a mountain off the top there. So, I don't know. I wonder if he Domri's here first to see if he can draw some more threats. It looks like he's got threats in his hand, though, so maybe he doesn't need to. So he rolls Domri up, I believe. He's going to take a look. Little peeky. I think you have to reveal that.
You only have to reveal it if
it's a creature?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got
You may look, and then you have to reveal it if it's a creature that
Right,
you want to put
to
in your
prove
hand.
it, yeah.
Okay. That's not a dude. Prove it. Okay, I will. Here he is. He's going in my hand. Here comes the beats. What's up now?
And with all the mana Aubrey has, if he'd been able to reveal a guy, I'm sure he'd just be playing it right now.
Slam dude. It looks like Aubrey's got some stuff in his hand, though, here, too, so. Yep, there's that Zertaw swine. There's going to be a trigger, and he's going to make the Slaughterhorn a little bit bigger.
Is that guy not a gold creature?
He's green-red, so anytime a green creature comes into play, the Denizen triggers. So he triggers off the green half.
So it makes him a 4/3.
It turns the Slaughterhorn into 4/3, so Aubrey swing with a 2/1 and a 4/3.
And that creature that just entered, what was his name
I
again?
think that's Zertaw swine.
So Z.
He's going to trade with the Skin Brand Goblin. I don't think Aubrey's going to be super excited about losing that Vigilant Knight to his 2/1.
So Aubrey's not really using these guys to Blood Rush like I would think the green-red deck would. Now, it's important to manage the fact that in between the two there has to be some board presence in order for the Blood Rush to be really good. And really, you just expect it to push through the last bit of damage. But, that +5/+4, as we saw with the Scorchwalker, sneaking in 5 power
Absolutely.
from I'm going to win this game for sure to I just
Absolutely.
pulled it out.
And I don't know if that was, it might have been Aubrey's only green creature there, so maybe he wanted to pump up the Slaughterhorn so it would survive combat with the Knights and the Guild Mage. I can see him doing that. There's one sweeper in this format and it costs 6. So he doesn't really have to worry about overextending on the board either. So maybe he's trying to get extra value out of his dudes instead of Blood Rushing. But I think Aubrey's a savvy enough player to know when he's got the goods to Blood Rush and get in for lethal, he's going to.
Absolutely, is he?
No reveal off the top there either, so he's bricked creatures, no creatures the last 2 rounds in a row. He's peaked and not revealed, so I can't see him leaving a creature up there.
Well, and I played with Domri a little bit yesterday at FNM, and I've got to say, Domri was a little underwhelming to me.
Really?
You'd think that it would be great to churn out all this advantage, but my split was 2 Garruk, 1 Domri in a Naya Humans deck I played, and I did very well in the event. I only stuck Domri once or twice, so I didn't get some extensive testing, but the added value of just dropping a wolf creature into play off of a Garruk to me was just much better. So I think Garruk Relentless is the guy I'm going to be playing.
He's still got the punch ability.
Yeah,
he can put a wolf into play, and when he flips over, he's bananas.
Right, you don't ever whiff on hitting some gas with a Garruk.
Exactly.
You just +1 or 0. You do nothing and just drop a 2/2.
You either drop a wolf on the field or you punch somebody turn 1, and you're getting there. So I believe this swine's a 5/4, so he could dubs block here. It looks like he's just going to kill it with the
Grizzly Spectacle.
Grizzly Spectacle. He's going to kill it and mill it.
All right.
I think I said that about 3 times yesterday in draft. I got stuck in Demir very hard, and he's going to pit fight in response. So kill the Viscopia. Aubrey's going to gain not gain life. That's not the sacrifice card. He's going to mill off of the Zertos wine and hit all the lands.
You know, Texas, I would,
Wow.
depending on what you're playing, I would still experiment with Domri. It's definitely a quality card. The the
believe
Garuk really
I-
never does anything the same impact of the emblem, but you know, I would try to maybe keep it to one Domri and
I
see
think
what you do.
4, 5, 6.
Actually, yeah, I think John just took 6 there. 2 off the Denizen and 4 off the Horn. I don't think he blocked with his Knight, so.
Leland, you want to go check on that real fast?
And
Unless you're really confident we've
looks
got it.
like Aubrey hardly has any creatures in his graveyard. Looks like John's thinking about playing that enchantment that gives -X for creatures in the graveyard. So we'll see what happens, I guess. Right now, it looks like Aubrey's board presence is pretty solid for the life totals as they are.
Yeah, John's definitely got some work to do here, being down 16-6. We've seen these Orzhov decks kind of make that charge,
that's the
though.
thing. They
so
can make the comeback. They can clog up the board with guys with big butts. You know,
Mm-hmm.
1/4s, 2/4s. There's a wall that's in black. There's the Basilica Guards. There's the 2/4 Vigilance guy. All those guys can stop the board down pretty good, and then Extort can bring you back into the game.
So looks like Domri might be done fighting here. Aubrey's very likely to just be turning guys sideways with
Right.
every turn. The Vigilance creature is very likely to.
Looks like a removal
in there,
spell.
yeah.
That's the -X for every guy in your graveyard. I don't know how many guys Aubrey has. I feel like it's 2.
Has enough for it to die.
I think it's enough to kill the Denizen.
If it's only 2, then it's not enough because, and I don't think it
Denizen's
is.
2/3?
Yeah, the Denizen is likely sitting as a 0/1 right now. Not ideal though because it can still give +1/+1 counters
It
as
could
a
give
0/1.
+1/+1 counters, and if Aubrey attacks with it and happens to have a Blood Rush card, he could use it as a, oh, you didn't block this guy, here it comes. A little over-the-top beatdown.
Some punishment there.
Aubrey couldn't kill him. What's life total?
Yeah, can you get us a life total update?
Yeah.
So double checking the life totals to make sure exactly how.
6 to 16.
Okay.
Aubrey to 16.
Yep, so
That's where
we've
we
got
got
it
it.
correct. Leland's getting some good work in today
where
for
we
us
got it.
here. And
All right.
let's see, I don't know that I saw John attack Domri. I have to assume the Vigilance guy went against the tap down creature board, taking him down to 1 counters, which
Right.
would mean that a +1 would, or a -2 would not be possible, and +1 would be the only possible mode there.
Roll it up. You just... Looks like Aubrey passed priority back.
So, how big is that the green creature there for?
Yeah, I
for
believe he's a
Aubrey?
4/3. I think he's only triggered 1 time.
Okay, so he doesn't want to make the trade with the Assault Griffin quite yet.
Right, right.
And just one counter on him. I think the lack of a green creature there for Aubrey could have been impactful. We're a little yellow now, or green probably from the lights out there.
Green.
And John's trying to adjust the light for us here so we can get a good view of the game.
Yeah, we're working on the glare.
Is there no light out there still?
He flipped the breaker trying to fix glare. So, concerned judge poking his head in to make sure we're not all in some trouble here.
The whole building's coming down and the judge is coming with us.
Should have just pulled him in and left the players out on the floor to panic with no authority figures whatsoever.
Who's in charge here? All right.
Well, John seems to have locked the board up a little bit. Now he's got an interesting dilemma of attacking a planeswalker that's kind of grabbing some value for him here.
Looks like Aubrey attacks. I don't know if he rolled. I don't think he touched Domri at all. I think he's going to trade. I would have thought maybe he has a Blood Rush card in his hand already.
He's got to, yeah.
There it is, right
yeah.
there.
So, all right. Not that was the 1-drop Blood Rush. So I believe that guy gets +1/+2 and Death Touch.
Yep.
His name is escaping me at the moment, but 90% positive of the ability. Wasteland
Yeah.
Viper.
Yep, the Viper.
Yep. Nailed it. +1/+2 and Death Touch.
And
So that actually
Aubrey peeked off of Domri and bricked.
that
again.
actually adds a, Judge. I think we just added a creature to Aubrey's graveyard, which might have killed off his
You
denizen.
threw a Blood Rush guy into the graveyard?
So sent the judge to check on a questionable board state. I don't know
Looks like a couple more nights.
the exact number,
More night watching.
but yes, 2 more nights for John. Actually, a very good draw for him here. The
Yeah,
vigilance
absolutely.
is serving him very, very well.
Lets him lock down the board even more. Which, again, that's what we said. These Orzhov decks, they look like they're behind. They're at 2-4 life. Looks like one Alpha Strike would just win, and then all of a sudden they just take over game state.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, I think we thought there was 2
Was
guys
the
in the graveyard
last thing he
before
played
the
a Blood Rush? Or,
Top of his library right now is a land.
okay, but he played a green, was it a spell or a Blood Rush?
I think it was a spell.
Okay,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
okay,
Yeah, because it has like 2 counters on it. So
Okay.
it's
okay.
some play.
All right.
Alrighty. Well, it's still a 0-1 denizen there. I was incorrect. Might not have been the Wasteland Viper that was used. Trying to flip through, looking for some other green 1-drops here that may have done it.
Looks like Aubrey's going to roll up again, or is he going to fight? Looks like he rolls up.
It's not a Blood Rush thing. It puts a counter on a creature.
Okay, it was an instant spell that puts a 1/1 counter on a creature. That would explain why I messed with the dice too. Thank our judge for the little bit of extra information there.
Very likely burst.
There-
Oh yeah, burst of strength.
Burst
Okay.
of Strength is a 1/1 instant. The other card you're thinking of, Leland's thinking of the card that slowly grows your guys +1/+1 every turn.
Forced adaptation.
Yeah, Forced Adaptation. That card also a beat down in a Gruul deck if you can land it early.
Especially if you can get it on something that like already has a madcap skills. on it
Or something
like
that's
a
hard
green red
that 1/1 creature, the green 1/1 with the pseudo flying, it can only be blocked by flyers and reach. That card, Madcap skills, Forced Adaptation, that's just a deck all by itself right there. Uh-oh.
Alright. Well, the mastermind is out.
Lasov says, what's up? He could become a Zertos one.
I don't think he can reactively. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I don't think he can become when he
become
comes
what's in
into
the
play.
graveyard. It's only when it dies.
When something new enters the
Okay,
graveyard, he
okay.
can choose to take over its power,
Yeah.
toughness, and abilities.
It's like a Mimic Vat that you don't get to choose.
I don't know if you have to do it. I think you do get
I
to
think
choose.
you can
whether or
skip
not
it,
you
but rolled up again. Hexproof, so no fighting. Oh, he's gonna reveal. Heard a woo from Aubrey in the background. I think he finally hit a creature off of Domray's ability instead of bricking over and over and over again. Yeah.
Is that an emissary? Gore Clan emissary, maybe?
Looks like the Centaur.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Gets
The-
a creature +2/+4.
+2/+4 Blood Rush ability on that guy. It's a horse with a big old butt.
Probably gonna be used. I'm trying to
Yeah, we'll see what.
Blood
See,
Rush this guy in fight too.
he's just gonna play it. He's just gonna play it. Lasov has hexproof, so he can't be fought. There's gonna be a trigger from playing a green creature off the denizen. And Aubrey's waiting to see if there's a response to that. And
The
I
denizen
believe
won't
that
die.
that Slaughter Horn has 3 +1/+1 counters on it, so that's a 6/5. That's a big old Slaughter Horn.
Yeah, I really think Aubrey's doing. We were talking about how he wasn't blood rushing before. He might not be his first time playing against that enchantment. He might know a little bit better than to commit guys to the graveyard and get rid of that denizen, which is not done,
Right.
providing 1/1 counters
Right,
around the board.
right.
John, however, conversely, could really use almost 2 removal spells here
Right.
at this point because he's got to get that 1/1 producer off the board, and then the Slaughterhorn, who's been receiving all the counters,
Exactly.
is going to be very difficult for him to deal with.
Exactly. Right now, we're kind of at a board state parity where neither player can profitably attack each other. I think Aubrey's in slightly better shape, but Lasov is pretty big news there. If John has any sort of removal at all, he can kind of dictate where things go from here. I can't really see what's in his hand there. He's
I'm sorry.
shuffling it around.
I'm sorry, Texas, I didn't understand your comment there. Looks like that's the cipher card that...
That's the
yeah,
Underworld, whatever, not the Slice this time.
Plague.
Yeah, Underground Plague, Underworld Plague.
We will get a full corrected card name for that. Undercity Plague.
Undercity Plague, damn.
Target player loses 1 life, discards a card, then sacrifices a permanent. with Cypher. So if he can start to get some triggers in, get some attacks in with that card, it will definitely start to
Is
do some
Aubrey
damage
blood
here.
rushing in response?
It can't because it's attacking. But he could.
What's the? Is this an instant in response?
Well, he could be trying to just kind of, rather than call a judge over, confer with his opponent, see if he agrees with how things are going on, but not 100% sure exactly what's happening here. It could be that the last card in his hand is like a removal spell, and he wants to see if he can get rid of the guy that's getting encoded, or if the spell has to resolve first, and then, because the judge is starting to
there
intervene.
now,
And it
yeah.
looks like a massive raid.
Yes.
So Aubrey's checking to see if he's going to be able to kill the creature and
In
counter the
response to
encode
the
ability.
encode, right.
Or if that card has to be discarded or used already. But either way, I think we can be sure Aubrey's going to be throwing 1, 2, 3 power or 3 damage around somewhere.
Yep. I think he just discarded it there.
3 him or?
No, I'm pretty sure he 3'd him because
Okay.
that's so.
And he sacrificed a permanent. I don't believe he was allowed to kill the knight to keep
No.
it from catching the
Right,
the
'cause-
cipher. I think the cipher would have just gone somewhere else then.
Well, Cypher would actually trigger on resolution of the spell. So the spell's going to resolve, and then as the resolution happens, the card would go to the graveyard, the
Right.
life would be lost, the permanent would get sacrificed all simultaneously, and then
Cipher
the
would
Cypher ability
the
would
card
go
would
onto the
encode
stack.
onto the card,
Yeah.
right?
I'm always trying to think of how things play out for me on Moto.
And
Currently, though, I'm playing Modern Burn on Moto, so I've been
Not that much
leaving-
thinking
No, I've
involved?
been leaving my brain in bed when I
just get there.
when I log on to Moto.
It looks like there's a fight from Aubrey to get rid of the encoded knight, which is in his best interest. A 5-4 Slaughterhorn coming in hot.
And the Domery raid is getting to the point where it is taking this game over now for Aubrey. Just getting too much card advantage from it. Even though he's missed so many times, just to be getting that many fights and
Gang block the Slaughterhorn.
yeah, which
Think
is
he's going
is
to kill the Sovereign Knight. And that's going to put enough dudes in the board
Yep.
to kill.
So now what is this creature? We got a Scab Clan Charger in play
Is he a
for
2/4?
Aubrey. Yeah, he's a 2/4. So no longer a very, very threatening board here
Right.
for Aubrey. But John's lost enough permanence at this point where his 2/2 doesn't really stack up or do too much against that. But hopefully this Kingpin's Pet, I guess if there's an attack
Stabilize,
here
get him
from
some
Aubrey,
life.
I think there's going to have to be a double block
Yep.
here again.
We got a
so
question
we've
of
got-
Gatecrash come on to Moto. I think it's, 2 more weeks? 1 more week?
We'll get Leland Googling that to find out when Gatecrash hits Moto. It's usually, I think, at least like 3 weeks.
They've tried to bring
before.
it closer, though.
Have they? It's an incredibly frustrating time period for any of you Moto players out there, such as myself. But we've got the
Cloud
flying Evolve guy. and-
Cloudfin Raptor. He's a little late to the party, though.
Yeah, I could have done some better work
John
earlier.
would have
But
liked him after before one of those night watch there. Aubrey's gonna look. He's gonna show. That's the
that the
beetle.
raptor?
That's the beetle, I think. The,
Almost-
the big
almost looked like
scarab
that.
beetle. Rust scarab. That's what he is.
Rust Scarab.
Rust scarab.
All right, Rust Scarab, when it becomes blocked, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. It is a 4/5 for 4 mana. Or, I'm sorry, for 5 mana. And
Not
John's
super
gonna,
relevant, but it's a body.
yeah, and John's speaking of bodies, John's going to get a little chump block action in.
Yep.
And there's your beetle. So he's a 4/5. Destroying target artifact or enchantment won't be that relevant there for the Rust Scarab.
What's the time in their round?
26 minutes.
We got 26 minutes left in the round. John just popped in to ask us.
And thank you, Texas, for helping us answer that question.
February 11th.
Yep, February